alien DNA will keep infection from setting in, and it'll eventually regrow my face skin when it stops burning. Yep. Any minute now.
Yay. It's the Kongversation Super Mario Party First Impressions episode. I'm Hyle Russell.
I'm David Thomas Lynch.
Oh, I should introduce myself as Hyle Thomas Russell from now on. Just
to avoid confusion with that other Hyle Russell.
Right. So, hi everyone. Yeah, okay, let's boost the excitement levels a little bit. We're gonna be talking about Super Mario Party on this edition of the Kongversation. And believe it or not, we've been doing this show for 6 seasons. Well, this is our 6th season. We started it back in 2013, so over 5 years, be 6 years in January. Where am I going with this? We've never done a Mario Party episode for anything. Like, we've never done a spotlight. We've never done a first impressions. We've essentially ignored Mario Party here on the Kongversation. We'll be getting into a little bit about why. We don't really have a good reason. It's just...
it's only like half the DKU games.
Yeah, exactly. No, especially when Chad was still with DK Vine. It was just... We kind of influenced each other's opinions, and we both just asked ourselves... Actually, I don't even know if we ever asked ourselves this. We just... I think assumed the other one would never want to talk about Mario Party, and so therefore it would be a bad time. So we just didn't do it. But now I was thinking, hey, you know what? It would be really fun to torture David by talking about Mario Party. So that's why we're doing it, David. You're welcome.
Oh, thanks.
No, really, you're on this episode with me.
Because I'm the only one who bought the game, so...
Yeah, pretty much. Well, I bought it. I mean, I own it as well. I actually bought it for... the Kongversation. I bought it for DK Vine. I said, you know what? I'm going to make an effort. Damn it. I'm going to go out and I'm going to buy it and I'm going to talk about it like a responsible Donkey Kong podcaster should talk about it. And it was a really big step in my growth as far as a peddler of this bullshit goes, because did I want to do it? No. Did I want to spend the, what was it, $60? 60, right?
Plus tax.
Or is it 70? Yeah. It's some exorbitant amount, but I didn't want to do it. There's other things I could have spent it on. Drugs. But I didn't. And now I'm sober, and I'm talking about Mario Party. So I don't really know what my point is, other than I am doing this. I am sacrificing for my art. I am sacrificing at the altar of video board games, and... It's been 20 years. It's almost been 20 years since the first Mario Party came out. And I didn't think I'd be doing a podcast about it back in 1999, but because there weren't any podcasts in 1999. Yeah, but...
there were no pods to cast from.
No, I didn't think I'd be doing a radio show or anything about Mario Party.
Well, maybe a DKJV radio broadcast. Yeah, on Live 365.
It still predates DK Vine by 10 months. So anyway, speaking of DK Vine, before we get into Mario Party, it's been a while since I've done some due diligence. I haven't been doing my due diligence, and therefore it has been undone diligence. So to rectify that really quick,
diligence.
DKVine.com. We recently had a site makeover, working out the kinks one by one. And we're also getting up a bunch of old articles that didn't really make the transition initially when we had the site update. That's just because working the new code with the old code, they didn't really get along, but we brokered peace. We're like Jimmy Carter up in this website, bitch. I don't know. DKVine.com. It's getting better all the time, as the Beatles said about that song about beating your girlfriend. DK Vine on Patreon. DKVine.com/Patreon. Back us if you want. It would be really nice. All the money goes towards DK Vine, so we can do episodes like Super Mario Party First Impressions. And it's supporting this ridiculous endeavor that I've essentially committed to be my career. I can't back out of this now. I mean, this is basically my career. I can't switch gears and say, actually, I want to be an astronaut. No, I'm stuck. I'm stuck being a Donkey Kong journalist. And, you know, I can question it. I can debate my life choices all I want. It's too late. It's too late to do anything about it. So it's do or die. I'm like Thelma and Louise going off that cliff. So it's all up to you whether or not there's a nice bouncy trampoline at the bottom of that cliff. Support us on Patreon, dkvine.com/Patreon. While you're at it, don't forget to subscribe to us on YouTube as well, dkvine.com/YouTube. We're a lot more than just Kongversation archives on YouTube. Oh no, we're also Stream of Thieves archives on YouTube. And when I can be bothered to actually have the time to do it, also, we do other videos as well. So check us out there. Also, follow us on social media, dkvine.com/Facebook and dkvine.com/Twitter.
And twitter.com/dkvine. You could do that too.
I haven't though. I haven't, and there's no redirects up. Are you going to say I have to do a redirect now?
No, you could go dkvine.com/Twitter or twitter.com/dkvine if you want to.
Oh, I thought you said dkvine.com/dkvine.
Oh, well, yeah, I guess it exists now.
Well, it will have to, yeah. I'll have to
by the time
redirect
this gets
to
up,
something. I
just
don't know.
redirect to the site itself.
But yes, you can do it one of two ways. I prefer leading with dkvine.com/ because it's self-branding. It makes me feel more important than Facebook and Twitter, and I like that feeling. It's a little bit scary though, because I wouldn't want the scrutiny that Facebook or Twitter get on a daily basis. But yes, thank you. David is actually writing down now that I have to make that redirect at some point before this episode goes live. Thank you, David. I will do that. I will do that. One of the interesting things we had to do when we had a new site design, and when also we had to go over to an SSL security certificate over in the summer because the whole internet had to do it.
Thanks, Putin.
Thanks, Putin. Thanks, Vladdy.
Thanks, Obama. Wait, can we still do that?
I don't know. Thanks, Mitch McConnell. No, that doesn't sound right. It's something we had to do was redo all of the crazy redirects we've joked about on the Kongversation over the past few years because they didn't work anymore when we switched to the new HTTPS site address. So I had to rely on you a bit, David, to help me remember all of the nonsense we've set up over the years. Like, I remember like dkvine.com/redtube. You can check that out. There's also dkvine.com/Quiznos.
Yes, I can. I'm actually going there right now, and it works. It's
why do these exist? Well, you'd have to go back to those conversations where we made a joke.
You have to listen to like 200 episodes to find the one where we made a passing joke about.
We're closing in on 300. We're getting very close to 300. So yeah, a lot of in-jokes, a lot of just stuff that has been lost to the ages, but we have to preserve it for the all-important podcast rerun. So check out all of our redirects if you can remember them. They're working again. Yay! All right, that's enough for due diligence right now. Oh, maybe I should do due diligence for Ukulele and the Cracklestone on Kickstarter. We had DM Cumbo on the show last episode. Check out that interview if you haven't. Doing an authorized graphic novel continuation of Ukulele, and he is over 75% now towards his goal of 40,000. So check that out on Kickstarter. It's Cracklestone with a K, all one word. Ukulele and the Cracklestone. All right, that's good for
dkvine.com/ukulele and the Cracklestone Kickstarter.
Or I could just do dkvine.com/Cracklestone. But okay, we'll do it both ways. How about that? DKVine.com/ukulele and the Cracklestone Kickstarter, and DKVine.com/Cracklestone. So, two ways you can get to it, but if you don't want to just go to Kickstarter and just use their search bar like a normal person. Thank you, David. Thank you for keeping me honest throughout the course of this episode. Real quick, want to check in with the live stream chat. We live stream most conversations, and we like to engage with anybody who shows up to listen to these raw and unedited, and the filthy stuff we say when it's raw and unedited. You know, I could just edit out. Yeah, we do fart noises. I could just edit out all of those redirects we just talked about, so then I wouldn't have to create them. But ironically, maybe, am I Alanis Morissette? Ironically, it would just create more work to edit it out than it would to just create these never-ending website redirects that will have to withstand the test of time. So I'm not going to do that. Anything we say as a redirect has to be created as a redirect because it's just easier that way. Hello, live stream chat. Hello, Godzilla Guy 92 and Zaxel XL. Yes, Godzilla Guy 92 asks, oh wait, so that means infected toe in peroxide is actually a thing again. It is. Check it out.
Yeah, by the way, my toe's fine. It just looks gross.
Did we ever actually reveal that it was your toe, David?
Probably.
Well, anyway,
it's
David's toe. If you can find infected toe and peroxide, I'm not going to say how you can find it. The answer is in old Kongversations. So when we were doing that edgy edgelord humor that has aged so well into 2018, so you can go back and have a good laugh at that. Just don't take the wrong lessons from it, people. So, infected toes are never funny. See a podiatrist immediately. All right. We should probably talk about Mario Party, right?
Yes, let's.
Well, we should talk about Super Mario Party. But to talk about Super Mario Party, to get the full historical context on Super Mario Party, we have to go back in time.
Previously
like
on Mario Party.
Mario Party has a long history. And it really, it's not even a 20-year-old franchise, but it feels like it's been around for 50 years because of the glut of games in the series since it first came out in Japan in December 98 and in the US in January 99. So I want to get into a bit of our history with Mario Party and why we have actually...
February 99, it says right here.
February 99, excuse me. Mario Party 2 was January 2000, hence the confusion on my part. Because Mario Party 2 actually came out less than 1 year after the first one in the US. So, is that any wonder we got burned out on it? But, yeah, to really get into why the Kongversation in DK Vine has been so anti-Mario Party... Because a lot of people are confused by that, because a lot of people, especially younger gamers than us, really just have affection and affinity for Mario Party. Because and we used to, and stuff happened to us, and that stuff was a lot of Mario Party sequels. The original Mario Party, as David just corrected me...
rotating the control mini games from the first game.
Believe it or not, that wasn't what broke us. It broke our skin numerous times, but as David said, the original Mario Party came out in the US in February of 1999. What a Valentine's Day it was that year, my friends. Oh yes, the stirrings in my underloins. They were quite stirred because of all of the waggling of the control stick I had to do with Mario Party. It was the first cameo game to follow Mario Kart 64 2 years earlier. And in many ways, it felt like a direct thematic sequel. I mean, it essentially was. The plot of the game was that the cast of Mario Kart 64 reunited in some sort of grassy meadow in the Mushroom Kingdom, and they started having a little fussy fight about who was the biggest superstar among them. And I mean, it was Mario. I mean, I'm a Donkey Kong guy through and through, and I can say, yeah, Mario is the most famous out of all of them. Why is it even an argument?
But when I played the game, it was Donkey Kong was the superstar.
Well, yeah, I mean, same here. In the context of the Mushroom Kingdom, Mario is the most well-known dude. Well, I don't know. The princess would probably be more well-known. It's like saying that, I don't know, Kate Middleton's plumber is more famous than Kate Middleton, but that would be also assuming that Kate Middleton was getting piped by the plumber on the side. And so, the situation isn't really comparable to our world. I guess that plumber would be pretty famous if he was having an affair with Kate Middleton, but that's not happening. But why am I imagining it now? Why am I just suddenly casting this pornography in my head about a plumber showing up at okay, anyway, sorry. Where were we? Yes,
Mario Party.
Superstars. Yes. So they were basically fighting about who was more famous from Mario Kart 64. And granted, I mean, Donkey Kong, in my canon, won Mario Kart 64 single-handedly. He won all the gold trophies, finished first every time. So it would have been Donkey Kong in my context, if you're looking at it through the prism of Mario Kart 64. But looking at it through the prism of an in-universe perspective, Mario could have had a right to it. Peach could have had a right to it. Donkey Kong on Donkey Kong Island could have had a right to it, absolutely. So anyway, they just decide to settle it by playing a human-sized board game. And I think this was Toad's idea, right? It was Toad who was like, I don't want any part of this because I am a humble little mushroom man. But you know what? I know the perfect way to settle with you egotistical bastards. We're going to play board games. But not just board games. You are going to be the little pewter pieces that move around the board. You, Mario, you, Donkey Kong, you, Luigi, you, Peach, etc. So...
And apparently Bowser wasn't invited, but that didn't stop him from crashing the party.
Yeah, no, Bowser was not invited. He served as the antagonist of Mario Party. And every Mario Party since then, he's essentially been the antagonist. It was, I mean, a stupid story, but it felt cool coming off the heels of Mario Kart 64. We hadn't had any cameo games besides Mario Kart 64. And we, again, at DK Vine, classify cameo games as basically any game from another franchise that features a role with one of our native-born sons or daughters. In this case, Donkey Kong. Mostly they're Mario sports games.
Mario Kart 64 used the same CGI model direct from Rare, so this was the first time we saw a crappy off-model N64 Donkey Kong.
Yeah, this was our first glimpse at ugly Donkey Kong. And we would have so many ugly Donkey Kongs after this. This was still better than Super Smash Brothers, the original, with his triangle head. And I'll take this over a lot of the toothy grin Donkey Kongs of the GameCube era. But yeah, this Donkey Kong. This was also the first time we saw the backwards DK on his tie. Actually, it was the first time we saw the DK on his tie at all from an in-game perspective. Up until now, it only appeared in renders. So this was the first time he actually had the DK tie in-game. But then he also had the N64 era reverse DK on the backside of the tie, which was interesting. They got rid of that in the GameCube.
Yes, because they actually learned to render the back of a tie. We didn't have the technology before 2001 to just render the other side of a tie.
They didn't. Yet when people talk about how 9/11 changed everything, and that's really when the 21st century began, I usually argue and I say, well, that and Donkey Kong not having a backwards DK on his tie. I'm not really invited to many discussions about geopolitical affairs as a result. But yeah, we liked Mario Party. I remember fondly playing Mario Party, and it could be cumbersome. It could be even a bit excessive playing it single player. Because as a completionist, I had to, quote unquote, beat Mario Party. And to do that, I figured I had to play it single player. And not just single player, I had to play it on all difficulty levels to actually say, why yes, Mario Party, that game on the N64, I sure as heck fire beat it. And did I feel accomplished afterwards? No, not really, but I could at least put it up on my shelf and say, I'm done with it. Donkey Kong is the superstar, and that is a chapter of the Donkey Kong universe that is now closed. Onward to Super Smash Brothers, where I have to beat it on every difficulty level to say I beat it. But it was a cool game. There really wasn't anything like it on a Nintendo console. I don't know if there was anything like it on any other system at the time, or if like the video board game thing.
I mean, there were certainly like board games. There was like, like Monopoly games and like Anticipation.
Yeah, but this was true. But this was taking iconic video game characters and their world and turning that into a board game. And there were video board games even off of consoles. I remember having a VHS Candyland game.
Oh yeah, I had this Star Trek game where you experience Beige. Like, I don't know if apparently Beige is Klingon for punishment, but never actually came up on the show, just in the VCR board game. So it really does expand the Star Trek lore.
But it's only memory beta, David. It's not memory alpha level. So even though it probably makes more sense than Star Trek Discovery does within the lore of the universe. There had never been anything like Mario Party. It basically took the video board game concept, took the concept of a board game in a video game, and really made it fleshed out and followed through on the possibilities of the idea. So yeah, I was a big fan of Mario Party, and when they announced Mario Party 2 was coming later that year, I remember being excited. I was like, "Oh, cool! Another Mario Party
sequel. This is actually good for some reason."
I can't believe we're getting one. Yeah, this what luck, what fortune. Oh, God is smiling on us.
Conveniently landed on all the good spaces because...
Yeah, this was a game of chance. We really felt like we were winning at the time. And DK Vine had started in August of 99, August 22nd, 1999. And obviously we were focused on Donkey Kong 64 and all of the hype around that. But, Mario Party 2, I remember a significant chunk of time of DK Vine's early first few months were around Mario Party 2, because this was a game that was coming out very soon, and it had Rare's Donkey Kong in it, so we had to cover it. We were excited about covering it. I was excited about covering it. I was excited about playing it. And yeah, January 2000 is when it came out in the US, and we liked it. I mean, like I said, we were very positive about it, and it was the same quality as the first Mario Party, mostly because it was essentially the same game. There were different boards, there were new mini games, but a different storyline. But by and large, I mean, it was more of the same. They didn't really reinvent the wheel whatsoever. They didn't reinvent the slot card derby, so we still liked it.
Was slot card derby in the second one?
There was another slot card derby. They brought back slot card derby.
Oh yeah, couldn't remember.
Yeah. So yeah, we were getting more Donkey Kong, more Rare's Donkey Kong, and how could that be a bad thing, right? So yeah, Mario Party 3 came out.
This was where we were starting to get burned out.
Mario Party 3 came out in May 2001 in the US. And I don't know why. The first three came out December in Japan. And they really just seemed to arbitrarily space them out for the US. Like, came out in January Mario Party 2, and then they waited till May 2001 to bring out Mario Party 3. I don't know. Maybe they thought we need to put some buffer between 2 and 3 because there's no way people are going to buy 3 so soon after 2.
There were
so
70 minigames instead of 50, so they had to think of more puns for the names.
I bet the localization is what took up all the time. They hired the best chimpanzees and they put hundreds of them on typewriters, and they just crossed their fingers that they would stumble upon applicable puns for. Really, I mean, we should pause here and give credit where credit is due. The pun game in Mario Party they're never great, but they're never off either. They're just solidly there. They exist, and they think of one for nearly every mini game. So, or they come up with some sort of alliterative title, and yeah, I mean, I wouldn't want that job. That sounds miserable. So, whoever's doing it, kudos.
We got Mario Speedwagons. We got
Mario
hockey.
Speedway.
Wait, no, that one's lame. Snow World. I'm just scrolling through the mini games in Mario Party, the top 100. But we're getting
Mario
ourselves.
Speedwagon is one that I would have never gotten back in the day, and I can only fully appreciate it now. And I'm like, wow, I can't believe that is a joke in a Mario game. That's impressive. But yeah, Mario Party 3 came out May 2001, and it was the Donkey Kong Universe swan song on the Nintendo 64. And what a anticlimactic way. Yeah, what an anticlimactic way to go out.
Yeah, cause all those N64 kiosks that were getting old and growing mold and stuff. Mario Party 3 is the game that was running on them.
Yep. And this is where we at DK Vine, I think, really started to struggle with the concept of Mario Party as an annual release, because this is where it started to kind of coalesce in our minds, started to really gel that, oh my god, they're really gonna do one Mario Party a year. And there was some debate in our heads. It was like, well, maybe not. This is the end of the Nintendo 64. Maybe this is where there's going to be a nice solid break, because they have to spend all this time developing one for the GameCube, so we might get a break for a few years. That would be great, right?
Yep.
But we were kind of viewing this with a little bit of a side eye at the time. And I also think it was just more of the same. It had more mini games, sure, but you can only play the same game, only slightly reskinned, multiple times over the course of 2 years before it begins to break your brain. And it's not like this was a platforming game. Like Donkey Kong Country, we got 3 games from 94 to 96. This is a different situation than that, because Mario Party, like any board game, you only have so much enthusiasm for, and then you only have so much patience for it before you start to turn on the concept and before it starts to nauseate you. Just think about any time your family tried to get you to play Monopoly, and then try to get you to play Monopoly, and then try to get you to play Monopoly. It's essentially that. You don't want to play Monopoly anymore because it's long, unending. It goes back and forth. You start to realize there's very little skill involved. It's mostly down to chance. And you're basically wasting your time playing that when you could be playing something a lot more fun, like Chutes and Ladders or Candyland for the VHS.
Those are even more luck-based.
Okay. Not Chutes and Ladders.
Could literally automate Chutes and Ladders, just have a random number generator set up.
Okay, Chutes and Ladders is a bad example. It's a bad example. Fun game. Mousetrap? I don't know. Honestly, I've never been a board game guy. Outside of a few, I quickly got past board games when I got a Nintendo Entertainment System.
It's really just Star Trek: The Next Generation, a Klingon Challenge interactive VCR board game.
Yeah, there was Mall Madness. Remember Mall Madness?
I know the name.
Yeah. There was Trump, the game, the Donald Trump board game.
Yes.
Which there was, let's see, all the home editions of popular game shows that you got as a consolation prize. I always like to imagine that people would try to commit suicide with that when they got home.
Well, sometimes it'd give you the Nintendo game, which was made by Rare, of at least Jeopardy and Wheel, I think.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no, those were fun. I had Family Feud for the NES, which I spent a lot of time playing, weirdly enough. And then when I got bored with that, I would just cram a Game Genie on it and just type in random codes, hoping to alter the thing. Speaking of suicide,
show me random codes.
Speaking of suicide, rest in peace, Ray Combs from off of Family Feud. Anyway, yeah. Mario Party 3, though, I liked a lot about it. It introduced Waluigi and Daisy to the series, and that was fresh off Mario Tennis, so it was nice to see some cameo game follow-through there. Two different development teams, because, of course, Mario Party in those days was developed by Hudson Soft, and Mario Tennis was developed by Camelot, still is to this day. You know, it introduced more to the series. It started to change the form. Well, it didn't change the formula really at all. It just introduced new characters and more mini games. But I liked the storyline to Mario Party 3. It was better than Mario Party 2. You had the Millennium Star, which was a weird pseudo-heady concept. And that was a step above everyone in Mario Party 2 wanting to name their amusement park after themselves, but then it turned out to all be an elaborate stage play, just a scam to fleece the marks out of their money. They had already decided it was going to be called Mario Land, but they decided to play fight for everybody. Should be called Donkey Kong Land, because technically Donkey Kong won those stage plays, where they legitimately played Mario Party. It just, they already like, I guess, trademarked Mario Land, and so...
Yeah, plus there's Donkey Kong Land is already that other game, so...
Yeah, but Super Mario Land is a game.
Super Mario Land, not just Mario Land.
There you go. They could have called it DK Land or Donkey Land. Although Donkey Land sounds like some sort of seedy, like, sexual... I don't know, like south of the border, like come to Donkey Land and okay. If I'm honest though, I think a large part of my dissatisfaction, my disillusion with Mario Party around this time, it was not just Mario Party's fault. It was right in the middle of the Nintendo Rare fandom divorce that was starting to be initiated around this time. Online particularly, where Nintendo fans started to turn a little bit on Rare, and Rare fans started to turn a little bit on Nintendo. And this didn't happen in all corners of the internet, but it definitely happened pre-buyout.
I believe it was the first time that all the good people left Rare.
I think on our side, looking at Mario Party 3, it came out in May 2001. Alright, so... This was right after both Banjo-Tooie and Conker's Bad Fur Day. So Mario Party 3 obviously didn't appeal to our anarchic sensibilities that were really in full swing.
I was like 15 at the time, which is like peak like teenage edgelord age. So it's like, I want mature games with poo jokes.
Well, so Banjo-Tooie and Conker's Bad Fur Day, beyond just the poo jokes and the innuendos... they also kind of put their thumb in the eye of the video game industry, while Mario Party 3 was so fucking earnest and sincere about everything that it just inherently pissed us off at the time. We were teenagers, and it was just like, what? Like, have some self-respect, Mario Party 3. Like, throw in some self-deprecating jokes about how much you suck ass. Come on. I did like, what was the one dude, the dice creature's name?
Yeah.
I liked him. Tumble, yeah. Tumble is cool. So even in light of like us being full on like, yo man, you know what the best ending to a video game is? When the hero's girlfriend gets gunned down by the mafia due to their own poor decision making and selfish attitudes. That's the best ending. So even though like Mario Party 3 didn't have that, I still liked elements of it. I wasn't that far gone, but there was a clear like dividing line now. But are you with Rare or are you with Nintendo? And it seems silly now, but yeah, that was definitely a thing, especially on DK Vine. 2002, then the divorce actually happened, the buyout. And a few weeks after the buyout was when Mario Party 4 for the GameCube was released. It was October 2002, just shortly after Star Fox Adventures actually came out. So,
yeah, I think this is quite a while before I ever bought a Mario Party game again.
Yeah, I bought Mario Party 4 when it came out, but I remember trying to have an open mind about it because I was fatigued with Mario Party. One game a year, every year since the beginning of 1999, and I'd gotten my fill. It was essentially the same thing again and again, but also it felt like there was diminishing returns too, because the first Mario Party, it felt like there was so much like care put into it. I mean, yes, there were mini games that utterly broke both your controller and the skin on your hand. And yes, I do still have the very, very faint outline of a scar from Tug of War.
I just rotated the control stick with my thumb, so...
Yeah, no, it was the palm, and I can still see the very, very faint, like, circular scar of where the N64 stick dug into me for Tug of War. So, I mean, there were problems with the first Mario Party, but like things like Mushroom Village and Minigame Island and just like characters like Fun Gus, and you could buy a talking parrot that mimicked all the characters' voices and sound effects. It was cool shit. It was cool shit, and it felt like each Mario Party that got away from the first Mario Party felt like you got less of that little bit of nuance, and it felt like it was just more blunt. Here is a game with boards, and you roll a dice and you go around. Isn't it fun? Even the story became less and less as the series went on. Mario Party 4 was essentially about Toad, Goomba, and some other idiots developing a holodeck called the Party Cube, because they're on the GameCube now, so, you know, promote it. And they want to try out the Party Cube, their little holodeck. And so they basically approach Mario, Donkey Kong, and everybody else. And they all have birthdays around the same time. And so they're like, hey, we're going to celebrate your birthday and you're going to test out our Party Cube, and we're going to play Mario Party. And so like I don't know. It felt like each sequel for Mario Party got a little bit more half-assed, even when they added features like now you can get a mushroom and grow large on the board. It just felt like, okay, but it doesn't really make the game any better. And I feel like the game is it just felt tired. Like it felt like they needed to take a break. They needed to take a little nappy poo, get some rest, come back refreshed in a few years. Like, oh yeah, Mario Party's back, baby, better than ever. They didn't do that. And I know why they didn't do it, because they were probably cheap to make, and they were probably therefore financially lucrative, because there was enough financial turnaround, where, you know, they were making serious coin off of it. So it was easy money for Nintendo, easy money for Hudson Soft. It's the same reason we got so many Mario vs. Donkey Kong games throughout the buyout era up through the returns era. And they've only now tapered off, and that's because they were very, very cheap to make, and they turned enough of a profit where you didn't have to invest a lot of money, but you got a lot of reward for it. So that's why we got so many Mario Parties. But for a completionist like me and the ethos of DK Vine, I wanted to gouge out my eyeballs. This was a terrible thing for me.
At least it's not like John Madden Football, which has had games every year since 1988 to the present.
The difference with Madden Football, though, is Madden Football has its own fandom. So
also, Donkey Kong is in it, so we don't have to play it.
Yeah. If Mario Party... Like, Mario Party has its own fandom. Everything has its own fandom. But, so if Mario Party was the only thing I played, if I was a Mario Party fan, first and foremost, because I'm a guy who, instead of liking Donkey Kong, really likes candy-colored video board games with a Nintendo bent. If that was my fetish in life, and Mario Party was my series, then I wouldn't be tired of it. But... like I said before with the Monopoly analogy, it just took time away from stuff I would rather be playing. And it didn't help that I was also a Rare fan. I was following all of these Cameo games because of Rare's Donkey Kong, and the further and further Rare got away from Nintendo, the more and more I questioned if I was having any fun with these games. It's Donkey Kong, I see him. But this just feels like a chore. This is just a chore. I am punishing myself. This is self-flagellation.
See, what I did around it was I didn't buy the games, so...
Right. And I realized that I'm basically bitching about self-inflicted wounds here. I get that. I'm fully cognizant of it. So I'm not asking for sympathy. I'm not asking for you to cry for me, Argentina. I'm just saying... This is why I got so fucking sick of Mario Party. And Mario Party 5, really broke me. It broke me, David. And primarily the reason it broke me was Mario Party... Well, before Mario Party 5, I would be remiss not to mention my favorite Mario Party after Mario Party 1. Mario Party E.
Yeah, the card game.
the card game that had e-reader support and therefore had a video game element to it. Donkey Kong appeared on a card. He didn't appear in any of the mini games you could play on the Game Boy Advance, but because he was a card in a game that interacted with the video game world, we still treat it as Donkey Kong Universe and we still treat it as canon. That was so radically different from Mario Party 2, 3, and 4 that I loved it. I loved it, and it felt like such a breath of fresh air.
Well, but Mario Party 5, because it's a card game, you have to find somebody else who actually wants to play it. So in a way, that's the hardest Mario Party of all.
I basically fleshlighted Mario Party E. I did play it with friends eventually, but to beat it, I played Mario Party E Solitaire.
Maybe design a chess computer just to play Mario Party E.
Yeah, essentially. It was me versus Deep Blue, and I won. So, by the way, you're welcome out of context for the I fleshlighted Mario Party E. No, Mario Party 5 is what really just broke me, broke my soul, broke my spine, just bent me over its knee and replaced me with John Paul Valley. It was terrible because the whole reason that I was playing all of these Mario Party games was because Donkey Kong was in them, right? So what Hudson Soft does, and I don't know why Hudson Soft does, we still don't know the reason, the rationale behind why this happened, but Donkey Kong got demoted. Donkey Kong, they couldn't just remove Donkey Kong from Mario Party 101%. That would have been great. That would have been our salvation, or my salvation. No, what they did was they made Donkey Kong an NPC. You couldn't play as Donkey Kong, but he was on the boards as a space. He was basically the anti-Bowser. So Bowser was on the board, causing a ruckus, causing mischief and mayhem. Donkey Kong was the heroic counterpart to Bowser, which I do like that they portrayed Donkey Kong, in a favorable light, even after they removed him, that he wasn't portrayed as a Mario antagonist, because Mario Party 1 was the the game, more so than Mario Kart 64, where Mario and Donkey Kong started to bury their hatchet and started to become grudging frenemies and eventually friends. But, or at least that's how I hallucinated it when I was playing it. But, yeah, Mario Party 5, they removed Donkey Kong as a playable character, but Donkey Kong was still in it, so we had to still cover them. And this is a pattern that continued for many years. Throughout the 2000s, throughout the aughts, throughout the noughties, this continued. And Mario Party saw many changes over the next 12 years. They would continue to tweak it in order to try to solve the glaringly obvious problem that it had for people like me. That it sucked to play in single player. That it was only a rewarding experience if you were playing in a multiplayer. So what they started to do was they began altering the experience. They began like pulling on threads, trying to reveal some sort of beautiful tapestry underneath the quilt that already existed. All they did was unravel it. They turned single player mode into these short little sessions that you could play against the Koopa kids, who, if you don't know who I'm referring to, they were the baby Bowsers in the first 3 Mario parties, and then they aged up to Koopa Kid status before they were completely removed from the series altogether when Nintendo said, hey, we have this character called Bowser Jr. You have to start using him. What the fuck are these things? Get rid of them.
How many fucking kids does Bowser have? It's like 8 kids. And then plus the Koopa kids.
Oh, yeah. According to Miyamoto, Bowser Jr. is the only biological child of Bowser. The Koopalines or Koopa Kids or whatever you want to call them, from Super Mario Bros. 3 and World, and then the new Super Mario Bros. Games, and then Mario Kart 8 and so on. He says now that they are not his children, but I reject that because it was clearly established that they were his children. So I just like to think that, yeah, Bowser, he's basically just sticking it everywhere through Darkland. But that makes it sound like he's having anal, which would solve this problem. No, he is essentially having unprotected sex all over the place and siring heirs left and right. So yeah, in my opinion, the Koopalines, Bowser Jr., and the Koopa Kids from the Mario Party series, of which there's at least 7, I believe. But then they essentially narrowed it down to just one main one, who would then split himself into different colored versions of himself, like Superman did in the classic Superman Red, Superman Blue storyline. Yeah, they're all his children in my personal headcanon. And I think eventually Nintendo will come to their senses and accept that as canon as well. But yeah, you would play against the Koopa Kids, or the Koopa Kid who would split himself into multiple colors like Superman from off the classic Superman storyline, Superman Red, Superman Blue. And you wouldn't actually be playing the regular boards. And the idea was we need to speed up the process. Get it done. Get through it. People hate it. It's taken too long. What they did though was, instead of improving Mario Party, they just made it worse because they removed the soul and the essence of what made Mario Party so appealing in the first place. By trying to solve the problem they had created, in part by having so many goddamn sequels, they nullified the reason to have so many goddamn sequels at all. So it was weird. And I remember slush funding like Mario Party 6, and I was like, I guess this is better because I'm getting through it. But in retrospect, it wasn't. I didn't enjoy it anymore. It just meant the pain lasted less time than it did with Mario Party 5. I didn't like it. And of course, I had to play as Wario because I couldn't play as Donkey Kong. And, you know, Wario is my favorite I know people are gonna get up in arms because I refer to him as a Mario character when he's a Wario character. He's a spin-off character just like Donkey Kong spun off. But Donkey Kong spun off from Donkey Kong just like Mario spun off from Donkey Kong, whereas Wario spun off from...
Well, technically, he spun off from Donkey Kong Jr.
Yeah, okay, David, okay. Technically, but when I say Donkey Kong, I mean the core Donkey Kong arcade trilogy. Yeah, where Wario spun off from Super Mario Land 2 6 Golden Coins. So, degrees and semantics, plus this is the Kongversation, so we're always going to be biased in favor of Donkey Kong, so get over it. You can listen to the Wario... What would be... Okay, how's your pun game, David? Come up with a name for a Wario podcast that would be a really clever pun, just like the Kongversation.
The Wario-versation.
Yeah, you'll never get a job writing localization puns for the Mario Party series. I mean, that was pretty much on par with Slot Car Derby, but which is just a descriptive thing. Anyway, yeah, so...
Or ice hockey.
Ice hockey, right.
Because it's hockey with ice.
Let's see what the live stream chat has to say about Wario podcasting puns. Zaxl XL says trash talk. Does trash talk work? Does Wario live in a dumpster? Am I missing something? Is he like Oscar the Grouch? Get back to us if he's like Oscar the Grouch. Anyway, so I realize this is a very, very long preamble just to talk about Super Mario Party, and I apologize, but I feel like we almost have to get this out of the way, because we will have a spotlight episode for Mario Party next season, and it's good that we're getting a lot of this out of the way now. It's cathartic. It's cathartic for the soul. I feel like I have laid down my burdens, and I feel reborn almost. I feel like a dewy newborn still coated in afterbirth, and a wee bit of placenta nipping at my heels. So actually, I feel gross. I feel really, really disgusting. But once I get bathed, and once the umbilical cord gets cut, and once the little nubbin falls off, I will be really, really solid. So
I have not played Mario Party 7, so I wouldn't know.
Yeah, I'm not going to talk about Mario Party 7 and 8 and 9. All you need to know is they made it worse over time. And in this era, Hudson Soft was sold, but the staff migrated over to a new company, ND Cube, or is it End Cube? I don't know how to pronounce it. Is it
Nid Cube?
Nid Cube. Noid Cube.
Nude Cube.
Avoid the Noid. You gotta avoid the Noid. Because he's trying to steal... Is he trying to steal your Domino's pizza, or is he trying to give you Domino's pizza? What would be
I don't know.
worst?
I only remember that NES game with him.
Yeah. Another great NES game right up there with Family Feud. So... That being said, they made it worse because they added vehicles... And, you can drive now, and you're all driving together. And it's like, this isn't a board game. What is this? This is the trash that Wario lives in his dumpster. This is putrid. Nobody cares. Stop making these. Stop making these for the Wii. Stop making these for the Wii U. Stop making these for the DS. Stop making this for the 3DS. Throughout this all, Donkey Kong was not a playable character. And the only time Donkey Kong did not appear in a Mario Party game was Mario Party Advance for the Game Boy Advance, and I believe Mario Party Island Tour, which was for the DS or 3DS or
3DS,
something.
Doesn't count. It doesn't exist, so we don't have to acknowledge it.
I remember we were shocked when we didn't have to cover Mario Party Island Tour, and by this point, cover just means acknowledging it on our games page. So Donkey Kong, though, appeared in every goddamn Mario Party besides those. And then Diddy even showed up as an NPC in Mario Party DS and Mario Party 9. And then eventually, Donkey Kong returned as a playable character in Mario Party 10 for the Wii U.
Oh, hey, I actually played Diddy, that one.
You did? Did you play it?
Yes.
How was it?
Well, it still had that stupid, vehicle thing. if you're playing normal party mode, but there's also amiibo party mode where you have to erase everything on your Smash Brothers amiibo or Skylander, and then you could actually have separate spaces for each character.
Well, David, clearly you're being foolish. You're being foolish. All you have to do is buy the brand new Super Mario line of amiibos.
Well, the Donkey Kong one wasn't out for until months later.
Yeah, right. But yeah, so you just have to wait and let the game collect dust. And
no,
honestly,
I actually did use the Skylander for that.
Yeah, I do. If that game did give us the really solid Donkey and Diddy amiibos. The second third counting the Skylander for Donkey Kong, but
and the fourth counting Dark Turbocharged Donkey Kong.
Yeah, the Dark Donkey Kong. Yeah. So, but yeah, the Diddy one with him on the barrel, and yeah, I like those. So that did give us at least one gift in lieu of yet another Mario Party.
Wait, that was Mario Party Star Rush that gave us those.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh, it was. Oh, well, fuck you, Mario Party 10. Yeah, Mario Party Star Rush in 2016. It gave us Diddy as a playable character, and then the Diddy amiibo. You're right. Okay, never mind. See, it starts to all blur together after a certain point. Like, I can recount to you, like, Mario Party 1 through 5, almost verbatim. Like, oh, this is what happened, and that happened there, and this happened here. And, oh, yes, and they're in the Dream Depot, and Bowser's trying to give everyone nightmares. Oh, and this one, it's Donkey Kong's birthday, and they're in the holodeck from off Star Trek. But they're
not playing an Enterprise-based board while a Klingon that looks like Gowron keeps taunting them.
Yeah. That's, just like, Shane Marchus found the Metroid in Tropical Freeze after all of these years. Maybe somebody will find that in Mario Party 4 eventually. It's just been hiding in plain sight all of this time. Anyway, so yeah, Diddy became playable in Mario Party Star Rush. So that brings us to
Mario
today.
Party, the top 100.
Oh yeah, there was also that one.
Where Donkey Kong appears in 2 mini games, and that's it.
You see what I'm saying about Mario Party just torturing Donkey Kong fans? We're gonna make sure Donkey Kong just appears just a little bit. So you have to buy it. You have to cover it. You have to acknowledge it.
2% of the game.
Yeah. So Super Mario Party, I don't even remember when this was announced. Was this announced at E3 or was this announced? No, or was it last E3? I don't know. I just remember
it felt like E3, so you should know.
No, I don't remember. Because honestly, you hear, oh, they're making a new Mario Party, and you tune it out. You just don't care. Because it's just, oh my god, how many Mario Party games have there been? Over 15.
11.
So, no. I'm talking about console too. Portable too.
Well, according to Mario Party, the top 100, the handheld games don't exist.
Oh,
None of the mini games are from any of them, and it has a series guide that only mentions the numbered console games.
See, if I had been doing Mario Party the top 100, I would have made sure to at least get one from Mario Party E in there, just to be thorough. So clearly that's not the top 100 in any Hyle, Russell, or David Thomas Lynch definition of the term. The term being 100. So anyway, Super Mario Party, I don't even remember. This game, it just felt like, honestly, when they talked about it on the last Nintendo Direct, I was confused because I thought it had already come out. I was like, wait, what? Why are they talking about this? This has been out for... Oh, wait, this hasn't come out yet. Oh, okay. Because, yeah, Mario Party the Top 100 came out for the 3DS, and it just all blurs together. It's just white noise, the noise being Mario Party. And this is the first console iteration not to have numeric numbering, not to have the incremental number after Mario Party. And what do you think about that, David? What do you think about the death of Mario Party 11? It's not Mario Party 11, it's Super Mario Party. How do you feel about it? What's your emotions?
Well, I guess all series have to drop the number at some point.
It's true.
Mortal Kombat had dropped the number at the 5th game. Donkey Kong Country did it at the 4th.
I do admire how long Mario Party stuck with it, but it did make it feel completely worthless. It made it feel like, oh, fuck you, Mario Party 10. And at least, they did get away from the annual releases, because obviously, eventually we'd be up to Mario Party 20 at this point had they stuck with annual releases. So it would be even more ridiculous if we had Mario Party, 19 or whatever, and this would have been Mario Party 20. So thankfully that died. But I think this was a good time to drop the numbering if they were ever going to drop it, because not only is 10 just a solid number, a solid even number, but the Switch represents kind of a refresh for Nintendo as well, shaking off the shackles of the Wii era and the Wii U era, which, they tried to artificially extend the Wii era with the Wii U era, and to disastrous results. So, yeah, Super Mario Party, sure, why not? So, the story of the game. The story is Mario Party 1's story. The story, this is essentially the Force Awakens of Mario Party, where it's not a reboot. It definitely takes place after the other Mario Parties. But like Donkey Kong Country Returns or The Force Awakens, it's essentially telling the same story over again in a new context. And that story is a bunch of Mario characters think they're better than other Mario characters. And also Donkey Kong is there. And also Diddy Kong is there. So I don't even know how they get on this argument 20 years later, or 19 years and like 10 months later. Like, how do they even, like, why are they even all together?
Donkey Kong canonically won every single one, so.
Right. Well, and so much so that he had to just opt out of Mario Party 5. He was like, guys, I can't do this anymore. It's getting embarrassing. I've got to train for Double Dash. That's happening like next week. So I'll give out coins and shit on the board, but I'm not going to participate. By
the way, I'm going to steal all those mini Marios for some reason.
Yeah. So, anyway, I don't know how they get on this argument. I don't know why they're all together, if they just decided to have like a reunion picnic or something, or I don't even know. Haven't thought that through, but yeah, they have the fight again, like, oh no, actually I'm the bigger superstar, which is such a weird terminology that this specific group of friends and enemies use. Superstar. Like, it's just like, what fucking prissy divas are they that they all refer to themselves as superstars? Sure, whatever. Anyway, so they're fighting about it, and then Toad and Toadette are like, uh-oh, here we go again, Mamma Mia, here we go again. And Meryl Streep is dead, but we're still going to have her ghost
numbers. They just called it. I guess if you're going to make a sequel to Mamma Mia, what else are you going to call it?
Yeah, there should have been annual Mamma Mias. Mamma Mia 2, Mamma Mia 3, Mamma Mia Advance.
Well, if they thought through that, they'd just like go through ABBA's complete discography.
Right. And then, yeah. Well, apparently I have not seen Mamma Mia, nor have I seen Mamma Mia Here We Go Again, but I'm to understand they even reused some ABBA songs in Mamma Mia Here We Go Again, which kind of defeats the purpose.
They kind of have to.
Well, they don't have to. I mean, Mamma Mia is just a brand at this point. I mean, it's like complaining that Donkey Kong isn't playable in Donkey Kong Country 2 or Donkey Kong Country 3. It's the brand. Who cares? It's Donkey Kong Country. It's Mamma Mia Island or whatever, wherever it takes place.
But that's not what it's called. Maybe if it was called that, then you'd have a point.
All right. Well, anyway. So Toad and Toadette are like, these assholes, am I right? And then Bowser and his minions show up. Like Bowser arrives with the fucking cavalry, and they're like, hold up, maybe one of us, maybe one of the Koopa troop.
Hey, maybe Goomba is the superstar.
Yeah, maybe Goomba is the true superstar, which in no context whatsoever in any of these games could that ever be the case. Bowser might have a case, but Bowser is not participating. He's just there to be an antagonist. And then Kamek shows up and says, "Alakazam, wallawoo," and I like how they use Kamek in this game to essentially justify setting everything up overnight. Oh, okay, we need to have another Mario Party. God damn it. We need a wizard. We literally need a fucking wizard to come in and set all this up, because we're not going to do it. We don't have the budget for this. The Mushroom Kingdom already is tapped out this season, this quarter. We can't have another Mario Party. We just had the top 100. We can't possibly put on another Mario Party. So Kamek shows up and says, "Magic wand, zappity-doo," and creates this whole party plaza where they can have all sorts of Mario Party related shenanigans. And I keep saying Mario Party because in universe, as established beginning, I believe in Mario Party 3, it's called Mario Party. The board game itself is called Mario Party. So, and yet they're all arguing about who the superstar is when it's called Mario Party. Like, they could call it Superstar Party in universe, right? Because then at least you would have some sort of like claim, like, well, actually, I'm the superstar because it's in the game.
Well, maybe
hey, do you want to play Superstar Party? Yeah, I want to know who the superstar is right now.
Well, maybe they're just like throwing a curveball. Like, obviously, the superstar is Mario, but nope, it's Goomba. It's just a Goomba is the superstar. Yeah.
I mean, Donkey Kong was the superstar of the first 4 Mario parties, so. Anyway, yeah, Party Plaza is created by Kamek, and then that's the story. So, not a great story, but we'll get into a little bit about why the story is actually okay. But I want to talk to you really quick about my initial reactions to this game. So, true story, I am not making this up for comedic effect. I bought Super Mario Party and I was like, well, I guess I have to play it because I need to do a conversation about it because I'm committed to DKVine, dkvine.com/Patreon. So, I got my Switch, and I mostly play my Switch, in handheld mode because I like just sitting at my desk and taking a Switch break. I like just turning it on and being okay. I usually keep the dock like right here on my, my desk. And I just charge it up, and then I pull it out. I have the Joy-Cons on both sides, ready to go. I don't even like have it hooked up to the TV 9 times out of 10. So, I first played Super Mario Party when I was heavily constipated, and thought, well, it's going to be quite a journey on the old toilet tonight. I might as well play Super Mario Party while I'm trying to take a very, very painful shit. It's going to be an excruciating time defecating in the Russell household tonight, and at the very least, I can help grease the wheels, as they were, with Mario Speedwagon. No, with Super Mario Party. And so obviously I didn't do any research ahead of time. I was just like, it's a Switch game. You can take the Switch on the go. Perfect. And then
it says like play Mario Party anytime, anywhere. Except.
Yeah, no. So no, you can't play it on your lap in the toilet because, on the toilet. Because, yeah, immediately the game will yell at you and say, no, wrong way. Why do you have the Joy-Cons attached to your Switch console? You idiot. Like, even on the game case, you've got the Joy-Cons flying independently as part of the game artwork. There's a reason for that. You have to play the game with a single Joy-Con. Huh.
Yeah, it's like so, L and R. It says press L and R. I'm like, I'm doing it, pressing L and R at the same time. Why is it not doing it? This game sucks.
So that pissed me off quite heavily, because then I was already on the toilet. I was already in. I was already committed to the act of pooping, David. And I couldn't, I was stuck with my Switch and a game cartridge that I could not play. So I didn't play Super Mario Party for a few days after that because the experience just was so off-putting of having a zero entertainment, constipated expedition on the toilet. And,
well, I just waited until I got home and then played it on the TV, so.
Well, that's what I had to do. I had to go through the painful process of taking my dock, bringing it downstairs to my TV. I could have done it in my office, I guess, but I wanted to play on, because my office has hardwood floors, and the living room in our townhouse has carpet. So I like to sit on the floor when I play my video games because I'm a man baby. And I like to sit on a pillow. It's just the way I play video games. It's the way I play Sea of Thieves. When I do our Stream of Thieves events, it's the way I play anything. When I'm panning on the bongos, I'm on the floor. I had to go through the painful process of moving my dock down to the TV, putting the cable into the dock, and blah, 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 blah. And then detaching the Joy-Cons and holding one Joy-Con in my hand.
I mean, you could just put it on your desk and, put the kickstand up and put it on, play it like that.
Yeah, I could have done that, and I thought about it. I really did think about it, but I thought ultimately I also should get screenshots while I'm at it, and I want to get the higher definition screenshots that my TV will afford me. So that's what I did. So, I mean, boy, I'm just like the pissiest person when it comes to Mario Party. Like, there's no reason this should upset me because this is how the game was designed. Oh, I can't play it on the toilet. Well, okay, you're not supposed to play it on the toilet. Like, this isn't and I'm saying this isn't actually a strike against the game. I'm just saying I walked into this very negatively, and this did not help that I had to play it the way they were forcing me to play it. Unlike every other Switch game I have, like Brawl Out, you can play all you want. Constipated, suffering from massive bouts of diarrhea, whatever.
Yeah,
you can play Brawl Out.
Wolfenstein 2, if I want to shoot Nazis on the toilet, then I can do that, Well, also I could just argue with them on Twitter, but... And
then, okay, so I'm holding this wee little Joy-Con, and I feel like a giant, and I feel like, what's his name? The guy who, what's his name?
Mr. the Giant?
No, the guy who Ted Danson played, in the miniseries in the 90s from the book, Gulliver's Travels. Thank you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Sure. I was like, Oliver Twist? That's not right. No, I felt like Ted Danson getting tied up by little tiny people holding this just Joy-Con control. Like, this is one Joy-Con in my hand. I didn't like the feeling at first.
Well, you could put the wrist strap on so make it slightly bigger.
Yeah, but this is the first time I've actually tried. I think I played a Joy-Con like this when Mitch and I played Mario Kart 8 Deluxe back during E3.
Yeah, I've done it a few times just because I can. I
don't do things anymore just because I can. I found as I get older and I have less time to play games, I don't do things just because I can because I'm not that curious anymore.
So
anyway.
But instead of pressing the L and R buttons to do a Kong Pao, you press all the face buttons. So, it's like a completely different game.
Yeah, it really does justify having Tropical Freeze on a completely different system. No, I like Tropical Freeze for the Switch. I'm joking there. That is just a joke. That is just me being comically cynical for the sake of it. No, so I see the story, the aforementioned story play out, and I was like, oh my god, they're really just doing a story for Mario Party 1 again. Strike 2. Oh god. And then I find that you can't play as Donkey and Diddy Kong from the start. They're unlockable, David. They're unlockable.
Yes, I played it too.
So it means I have to play some Mario Party as Wario yet again, this time in a vain hope that I will unlock Donkey Kong and Diddy Kong before I lose interest in the game. Alright, so strike 3. at this point, I'm if I didn't have a podcast to do, I might have just wandered away from Super Mario Party and just forgotten about it. But I stuck with it. And David,
yes,
it won me over.
What?
I kind of love this game. Unironically, I love Super Mario Party. Super Mario Party is the best Mario Party game since the original, and I think it might be better than the original. I
mean, you don't have to rotate the control stick minigame.
No, I have to hold a tiny little Joy-Con, but besides that, it cramps your hands a little bit, and you also have to like waggle it around.
Normally I hate waggle controls, but I actually quite like them here. But yeah, because Mario Party is supposed to be like kind of a dumb gimmick game, as opposed to like Donkey Kong Country Returns, where you have to like waggle just to like charge with Rambi and stuff.
Right? No, I agreed. And the waggle controls didn't really bother me with Returns either. But they're very intuitive here, and it really just, once I got the hang of it, because it did take a while for me to get used to waggling the Joy-Con. Once I got used to it, though, and once I really got into the groove of Super Mario Party, I was grinning like an idiot. This is a lot of fun, and I was not expecting to like it. And I'd heard people on social media saying, oh, well, at least Super Mario Party is good. At least it's good. At least it fixes the series. And I was like, yeah, right.
That's what you said about Mario Party 3.
Yeah. Cause to this day, people, I'll do Mario Party post on, say, Facebook, and people will say how much they love a certain iteration. And I'll be a snarky dickhole about it, and people will just be like, oh no, I loved Mario Party 7. I have so many fond memories of playing it with my brother, or playing it with my sister, or playing it with the creepy man who owns the bicycle shop. Oh wait, that was Different Strokes. No, sorry, sometimes I confuse episodes of Different Strokes with memories of other people playing video games. No. So, I'm not going to necessarily take people's opinions on Mario Party at face value, because I'm the guy who burned himself out on Mario Party because I played it from the very beginning, all because of Donkey Kong. And I enjoyed it at first, but man, did it get old. And man, did they eventually just ruin the series by trying to fix it. And it just became... And yeah, granted, I am somebody who plays Mario Party primarily for the single player mode. So of course I'm going to be antagonistic towards it. Of course I am. I'm sure Mario Party 9 or Star Rush or whatever is a lot more fun with other people. But yeah, sorry, that's not how I mostly play them. I've not played Super Mario Party with other people, David. And I thought about playing it with you before we did this episode. Ultimately, I decided it wasn't necessary because all of that lengthy preamble was from the single player perspective. Super Mario Party, therefore, should be from the single player perspective, and saying how much fun it is even in single player. I don't even know where to begin, man. This is a revelation. I never thought I would be talking so positively about a new Mario Party game ever again.
And one where Donkey Kong isn't even playable at first.
He is playable, and Diddy is playable.
Yeah,
you just have to unlock them. I don't even mind unlocking them because, it helps that to unlock Donkey Kong, you have to fully complete, I think, my favorite mode ever in a Mario Party game. We'll get into that just a bit. So, why the story is actually okay, really quick, before we get into the gameplay experience. The story, it is just a retread of the first Mario Party, but the game is completely self-aware about that. And they even have Birdo standing around a party plaza. Birdo is not playable. And I believe Birdo's not even unlockable. Birdo is just there in Party Plaza. And you talk to Birdo, and Birdo, she just says, yeah, this isn't, Mario Party, everybody's done this so many times now. This isn't new. Like there is just this kind of almost Remember when I said Mario Party 3 was so disgustingly just earnest and not self-aware and just completely like at face value?
Yeah, hey, another Mario Party. Was like, yep, another Mario Party.
Yeah, there's almost kind of this winking, like, we know, about Super Mario Party. I'm not saying it's like full-on Banjo-Tooie or Banjo-Kazooie. It's not Banjo-Kazooie nuts and bolts where it's like, oh god, we're gonna be going out of business soon, aren't we? Yep. Microsoft's gonna shutter us. There's never gonna be another game from us ever again. Just this kind of nihilism that permeated the game. There's none of that, but it is very self-aware and it's refreshing for a Mario Party game to even like poke fun at itself. And Birdo like comments, Birdo even like references like, when I was younger, I even participated in some Mario parties. Like, there's even, like, acknowledgement of passage of time and aging, which I found very, very unusual for a Mario game. Party Plaza itself, it's kind of an interactive map screen where you run around as your chosen character, and you select the game modes by talking to different characters. My favorite map screen, as it were, in Mario Party Past was the first one, Mushroom Village, because it added lore to Mario and actually by extension Donkey Kong. But it was the warp pipe that you used to get to Donkey Kong Island from the Mushroom Kingdom. I like that. I like that notion. But you know, I like that the original. I like that Mario Party traditionally
it kind of feels like an actual like world instead of just like selecting menu options.
Yeah. I mean, Mario Party traditionally has always had this like first-person perspective from the menu,
like it's not just like a minigame mode; it's minigame island, and you go to Anyway,
there were diminishing returns over time, though. Eventually, they stopped even giving an establishing location of just somewhere in the Mushroom Kingdom. Fuck you. But I like here, like, okay, it's just this fairground that Kamek like whipped up overnight, and it's not first person. You're actually running around as the character. But I liked it. I like it, and I like that you basically have to talk to all of these characters to get anywhere. But as a shortcut, you don't have to do that, because as a shortcut, you also have an iPad, or excuse me, Party Pad, which sounds like a feminine hygiene product, but I'm going to allow it. Yeah, the Party Pad allows you to basically take shortcuts and like warp to different modes once you actually talk to a character the first time, I believe, right? And you can also check your results.
I don't actually use it, so
I don't use it either. But you can also check your totals and game progress, and it's just a handy way of
use it for that.
It's an in-universe way to basically keep up with everything, and I like that. So I like the thought that went into Party Plaza, and it's a nice little bit of set dressing that helps immerse you into the candy-coated reality that is Super Mario Party. But the mini-games, David, the mini-games I found so far, I haven't played all of them, but they are remarkable. You have, okay, so maybe I'm out of line here by saying this, but I find them remarkably more fun than anything in Mario Party the Top 100. I've not played Mario Party the Top 100, but I've played most of those games, those mini games. I don't really hate any
maybe
of
I just have a nostalgic attachment to bumper balls and hexagon heat.
Okay, but play control wise, those early ones, let's be honest, they were never the best. There's always like floaty controls and weird, sometimes like laggy response time, and it was never as intuitive and crisp as you would expect from a game with the Mario branding. And I mean, I say that as somebody who's always complained that the new Super Mario Brothers games are very floaty and whatever. Okay, true, fair enough. But, you know, by and large, though, you know, you expect like precision controls, and I felt like the Mario Party games, at least the early ones, didn't really have that. But these all feel great, and they're all varied. And here's the important part, the part that really won me over as somebody who plays Mario Party in single player mode. the AI is smart. The AI is just smart enough that, unlike early Mario Party games where you would have, say, 2-player teams or whatever, where you have to 2 versus 2 or 1 versus 3 mini games, your allies, if they're computer controlled, are not going to fuck up just because the AI is inherently crap. They've done a wonderful job programming the AI in this game.
Oh yeah, they know exactly what to do. You're basically guaranteed to like get an S rank and everything. You just have to stand around. Okay, it's not quite that easy, but it's all.
No, it really is. Like, so playing like the team mini games, I was expecting the worst at first, I was actually like busting my ass trying to do everything just out of, force of habit, the ingrained way I play Mario Party. But I was amazed. All of a sudden, here was Yoshi like doing everything and employing strategy.
Yeah, there's one minigame where you have to like one player steps on a switch and the other has to like drop the gems and it's like they go straight for the switch and you could they stand on the button while you do the work or vice versa. Yeah,
there's no artificial challenge by making your teammates handicapped in any physically or mentally. They are competent. And because they're competent, it feels like you're playing with actual human players. They're not infallible, but if they screw up, it's mostly going to be because you screwed up and you caused something to happen. It's not going to be, you're the only one you can count on, sucks to be you. Oh yeah, and then here's a game of chance and you've lost everything. Ha ha ha, Mario Party. There's not, I haven't really encountered much of that. I'm sure it can happen. I'm sure, there are...
Yeah, it's happened a couple times, but yeah, for the most part, they actually know what they're doing.
Yeah. And that makes the single player experience a blast. And it makes, not only do they keep things crisp through the single player experience, they don't artificially do any gimmicks like, we're just going to nerf the single player or we're going to stick you on vehicles. No, it's traditional Mario Party, but they do enough to keep you engaged, to keep it interesting, and to also make the mini games fun instead of, oh god, another mini game. Oh god, it's this again. It's actually something you look forward to. And it turns out all you needed to do to fix Mario Party was fix the AI and keep it a little bit more interesting, both visually and just keeping you, the player, a little bit more engaged. And that's all you needed.
And also the Mario Party and Partner Party modes, you still get credit for clearing the board even if you don't win the game, so that you don't feel like you wasted an hour of your life.
Yeah. And honestly, had you told me half a decade ago, or back in the days of Mario Party 5 or 6, that, oh no, actually the way to fix Mario Party is just to go back to the first one, but tweak it ever so slightly. Like, the formula is fine. It's just, we just have to fix the jankiness of the first one. And I love the first Mario Party, but I realize now that the flaws in all the sequels were not fixing the problems in Mario Party, just building on them. The foundation itself was rotten. They needed to have contractors come in and just tear up the floorboards, get rid of that dry rot. And I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm not handy whatsoever. I don't know the first thing about doing anything with my hands except tug of war. So
add some waggle gimmicks. HD Rumble, I believe that's a term in Home Improvement terms.
I believe I read that in the Bible and about Jesus, because he was a carpenter. See, that was a joke I was making there. So anyway, holy shit, David! Like, I'm excited about Mario Party again, and I realize I've never stopped being a fan of the underlying concept of Mario Party. I just wasn't a fan of them churning out Mario Party as shovelware without fixing any of the problems. They fixed the problems. They made a great game. And, now, I don't want Super Mario Party 2 in a year. I don't want Super Mario Party 3 in 2 years. Like, we can very quickly go back down this bad road, and then we'll need a car to get us down that road, and then Mario Party will be broken again. But Mario Speedwagon, I don't want to see sequel after sequel after sequel. They should, at this point, sit on this. Have Super Mario Party be the definitive version. Have people buy it for the Switch. And then when Nintendo has the Switch U, or whatever they're going to call it, then release a new Super Mario Party. Have it be Mario Kart or Smash Brothers, what they should have done with it from the beginning, instead of having it be an easy cash cow that dilutes the brand and just turns people off. Will they do that? I don't know. Ultimately, it does not matter right now, because all that matters right now is Super Mario Party is available, and it's a lot of fun. And I actually want to do, like, DK Vine events with it. Like, I want to play this with DK Viners. I think that would be fun to...
You can only do, like, online Mario-thon, which is, like, a few mini-games. And,
wait, I can't play River Survival?
Nope.
But that's my favorite mode, David. That is the mode I was going to talk about. Ah! Okay, I don't... Okay,
well,
that is a pretty big negative strike against Super Mario Party. Why can't you play River Survival? That is the best.
Well, I don't know. Well, I don't think I've ever actually played a full, like, 4-player game where all 4 players stay connected the whole time. So...
Okay, well, I still want to play, you know, with DK Viners, even if we can't play River Survival, because, look, River Survival is the best mode, though, and we're going to be talking about River Survival, so...
Is it the only one you've played so far?
That is the only mode outside of just the regular, what do you call it, just party mode?
Yeah, Mario Party mode and partner party.
Yeah, whatever. That is the only one I have played outside of just the traditional board game, because I wanted to unlock Donkey Kong, obviously, and because this is the mode you have to play. You have to go down all the branches of the river to play as to unlock Donkey Kong, and let's talk a little bit about this, David, because I have a lot to say. It's actually based on an old mini game. I believe Paddle Battle was the name of it in the first Mario Party.
Didn't you have to, like, rotate the control? Isn't that one of those ones where you had to rotate the control stick?
Oh, it was. Yes.
But in this one, you just had to, like, paddle the Joy-Con.
Yeah. So in Paddle Battle, you're basically on a raft with 3 other characters, and you had to rotate the control stick. And if you get too far on the edge of the river, if you, like, hit the banks of the river, spear-wielding Shy Guys pierce your side, like from off of Jesus in the Bible. So bringing it all around, they pierce your side like a carpenter. And yeah, I mean, it sucked. It wasn't as bad as Tug of War. It didn't, because you didn't...
Hey, Tug of War was in Mario Party the top 100 for some reason. Although it's harder to rotate the circle pad with your hand because the screen gets in the way.
Yeah.
I guess if you're on 2DS, it wouldn't. Anyway, back to River Survival.
Anyway, so back to River Survival. Yes. So it's loosely based on Paddle Battle. Just it's whitewater rafting. It's the River Wild. To talk about another, was Meryl Streep in that one, or was that Glenn Close?
It's
Meryl Streep.
Right?
Meryl Streep.
Okay.
Yeah. So River Wild, or as I like to call it, Mamma Mia Zero. You're going down
for the first time.
Yeah. Mamma Mia, I am being born from my mama's vaginal canal. Just rolls off the tongue. You're going down this very, very long river. It's whitewater rafting, and you're teamed up with 3 other characters. Apparently you can't play it online, no, so God, I'm really looking forward to playing this online. And essentially, it's kind of a combination of things I loved about like Mario Party 1 and 2, minigame island a little bit of minigame island in there, or the minigame coaster. But there's
a mode even more like that, actually.
Oh, okay. Well, terrific. I can't wait to play that then.
You unlock Diddy Kong in that one.
Yeah. I know, I need to unlock Diddy Kong next. Again, I wasn't like dead set on trying out everything because this is just my first impressions, but I just wanted to get a good, solid opinion of the game first.
Well, I have all 5 of the gems, and I know canonically who the superstar is at the end.
Oh, well, don't spoil it for me. I mean, it would have to be Diddy Kong or maybe Donkey Kong, but don't spoil it.
It's Goomba.
So anyway, yeah, you have a time limit, right? So
yeah,
you're going down the river, and
you have 1 minute to play the entire course.
Yes, you have to get to the end, and so to add more time to the clock, you have to pop these balloons that you encounter on the river to play mini games, and then the better you perform as a team in this mini game, the more time is added to the clock. And very simple concept, very, very fun. And even the river itself is fun. And it took me a while to get the hang of paddling by wagging the Joy-Con. And the reason it took me so long is I just assumed the AI was going to suck. So I was overcompensating for the AI. And I kept driving us into the riverbank because I didn't realize the AI knew what it was doing, and I should just leave it alone when it's not my turn to paddle. Once I got the hang of that, oh my God, so much fun. And there's different paths you take down the river, and with different hazards, different gimmicks. Like one example, Cheeps fly out of the river like those fish that jump out and can land in people's boats. Yeah. One, those fish. So, but yeah, it's just a lot of fun, and I can't wait to play more of this game, David. What are your thoughts? And you've 100% completed it.
Well, not 100%, but sufficient enough to get all the gems and become the superstar. But because there's like hard modes and stuff, but yeah, I quite like River Survival. Yeah, with the Mario Party mode, there's still like a lot of like watching the AI bots, but which is kind of par for the course for these games.
Yeah, I think honestly, I would rather prefer watching them than any shortcuts that neuter the game itself. And I don't really mind watching them because it is almost. I mean, it's not a game of chess; it's a board game, but it is. There is strategy involved because you see where they go, and then you have to respond.
I'll say it's a good game to like just kind of have in the background since you're not doing anything half the time. So like you could
would have been a great game to play on the toilet, right? I know, but
or if you're editing this episode, and maybe you could just kind of keep an eye on the Switch for whenever the minigame starts. And
yeah, no, it. Again, I don't mind the waggle controls. You're right. It feels very intuitive, and I get why you have to play the game like you do, and it is taking best advantage of the Switch hardware. It's not just... I can admire a game when it says, you know what, we're just going to make the best game we can make. We're not going to worry about, waggle controls. We're not going to be worrying about, like, utilizing every gimmick. I mean, I think I kind of liked how Tropical Freeze for the Wii U didn't even use the gamepad. It was like, fuck it. But I also like when Nintendo doesn't forget that it has functionality built into its system, and it actually uses that functionality in different and exciting ways.
Like
so
there's a few games actually it's like the HD rumble. Like there's one game where you have to like get the most acorns, so you pick up boxes and like they rumble, and you could the ones that when you feel the most acorns, then you put the box on the thing.
Right. So yeah, I mean, it's pretty well rounded for what it is, and I mean, David, you haven't really said you like it.
Oh yes. It's a bit rubbish, but I mean, I've only played through the entire game at this point.
I mean, speaking of Star Trek, you are the closest. I always thought Cameron was the closest we have to Spock on staff, in that he's just very even keeled, very doesn't try to be too emotional one way or another. But David, you're giving him. We have 2 Vulcans now, and I don't know if this is just the influence that Star Trek video board game had on you as a kid, but whereas I had Candyland for the VHS, so I'm like a sugar hop diabetic, where I go and I go and I go, and then I crash after hour 3 of the conversation, and I'm just trying to get through the calls. But yeah, you're very much not someone who wants to give an opinion in one extreme or the other.
Actually, I'd be like the species from the video game Star Trek Borg, where you play as the species that can't talk to justify being a silent protagonist.
Would you recommend Super Mario Party?
Yes.
I guess it should be the question. You would. Okay, so would I. If you have a Switch, if you like Donkey Kong, if you like Diddy Kong.
If you have a Switch for reasons other than playing on the toilet.
If you have a Switch for reasons other than playing on the toilet, if that's a deal breaker for you, then by God, don't buy Super Mario Party. If you have this unhealthy connection between poop and video games, thanks to Conker's Bad Fur Day. By the way, Rusty Pup, The Legend of Rusty Pup by Chris Seaver is now available on Steam. We should really talk about that on the conversation soon.
Unfortunately, my computer sucks, so...
Yeah, I feel like this. I have to rebalance the universe because I was so hard on Mario Party 3 because of Conker's Bad Fur Day. I have to do Super Mario Party Kongversation before a Rusty Pup Kongversation. Yeah, if you have a Switch for reasons other than your own poop, definitely buy Super Mario Party.
There's also the soundstage, which is a bunch of rhythm games. I like that mode.
You know me, I love rhythm games.
I mean,
I'm doing I'm doing my now patented Jim Halpert stare at the non-existent camera. Yeah.
Okay. Well,
David, I never thought
better than Donkey Konga. I will say that I can promise that
it is so much better than Donkey Konga. It is worlds apart from Donkey Konga 2. Not even in the same time-space continuum. I never thought I'd be recommending another Mario Party game in my life. I never thought I would be doing it this enthusiastically. I never thought I would like a Mario Party game more than Mario Party E.
Hey, there's Toad's Rec Room, which you haven't even played those, have you?
I haven't. So look, I have some downtime this week in between reading the Sea of Thieves comics, the new Chris Alcock Sea of Thieves novel, Athena's Fortune, between playing a little bit more Forsaken Shores and Sea of Thieves, between editing videos for DK Vine and working on some other stuff. I will have some downtime to play Super Mario Party as well.
Although there is one mini game that requires 2 people who have the game and 2 switches, where you have to trace bananas or something like that. I haven't gotten a chance to play that one, but yeah.
We can play that together though online then.
No. You have to actually have 2 switches physically right next to each other, because that's how it works.
I don't have real life friends, ND Cube. All my friends are ephemeral on the internet. They barely exist. Like you, David. You're just, for all I know, you're imaginary and I'm hallucinating you. And I've been in the mental ward ever since Mario Party 5 broke my brain by demoting Donkey Kong. For all I know, I'm just staring into a snow globe right now. That was a reference to the show, the Tommy Westphal, Saint Elsewhere. Thank you, Hyle. I just thanked myself. So we didn't get any calls for this episode. I put the call out for calls. I said, call the DK Vine hotline at 1-202-630-VINE 8463.
There's no hotline. It's all in your mind.
Nobody called, and I think that's because you're the only person who would be interested who has it. So let's just see what the live stream chat has to say as we wrap this up. So Cameron says they banned Donkey Kong from game night because he always won. And see, that's one interpretation of it. I always viewed it as Donkey Kong himself willingly stepping down because I projected my own dissatisfaction with Mario Party onto Donkey Kong and imagined he too would just be up to his perfectly sculpted ass with it. No, every year you come knocking on my non-existent treehouse door, Mario, saying, "Oh, it's time for another Mario Party." Woo-hoo-hoo. No, get off my property. Cocks' coconut shotgun, get out of here. So, but that is one interpretation. Who's to say? I wonder what made Donkey Kong decide, hey, I'm coming back, baby. I want to be a playable character again. Maybe it was just Diddy willing to do it with him. Maybe
because he was in Mario Party 10, and Diddy was not in that one.
I haven't come up with a fan wank for that one yet. So, anyway, what else? Who else? Oh, Cameron also said that it's hard to make Mamma Mia jokes in the context of also talking about Mario. That is true. I did think about that.
We've been doing this for 2 hours and because I didn't think of it either.
I thought about it. I just thought if we can think about making a joke, we'll circle back to it. But
okay, how about Mamma Mia? Here I go again on my own, where it's the same cast but they're singing White Snake songs.
So Angry Ancestor, hello Angry Ancestor, asked, do they have Super Mario Party for Wii U or Xbox? No. Yep, they have crossplay. Super Mario Party now on Game Pass. Check it out. Wouldn't that be something? What we need is, can you imagine, everybody's hoping Banjo-Kazooie are in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. What if they announced it as DLC for Super Mario Party instead? That would be both surreal and awesome and the biggest flaccid penis flop of all time.
Well, maybe the Xbox version, except because it doesn't have any waggle or HD rumble, so it's completely unplayable. You're just press SL and SR. There are no SL or SR buttons. You're just staring at the title screen the whole time.
It's just watching Banjo and Kazooie on their beanbag chair playing Super Mario Party on the Switch on the Xbox, but you can't actually interact with them in any way. Or you can control them with your Xbox controller using the Joy-Cons in the game on the Xbox One, but you're just playing the Joy-Cons. Am I making any sense?
I don't know. Maybe that's how you play the banana minigame that you need 2 copies of the game and 2 consoles for.
Oh, Zaxel XL, talking about earlier Mario parties, says, we're not even going to talk about the amazing microphone peripheral. Yeah, that's also
another reason. Using that in Mario Party, the top 100.
Oh my god. Another reason to prefer Super Mario Party, there's no gimmicky peripherals that come packaged with the game, like the microphone that, of course, just look like a dildo. And
well, you have to blow into it to play.
So I remember playing one of those when I had roommates that wasn't my wife, who accepts me and all of my flaws. And I remember being so embarrassed that I had to talk into the microphone because I was like, they can hear me. Like my roommate is having sex in the other room, and meanwhile I'm talking to the microphones, saying, go, 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 go. So it sounds like I'm just cheering them on, right?
Yeah, I think Mario Party, the top 100, only made you blow into the microphone.
Yeah. Which is a lot more acceptable than having to say words. And I would even rather pan at 2 a.m. on the bongos than I would use that microphone. So yeah, everything you need is you have a Switch? Great. You can play Super Mario Party.
Mario Party 7 the one that had officially licensed shot glasses?
I don't know about that.
Because when you play Mario Party, you're just going to have to get drunk.
I mean, they should have, I know we keep bringing up Conker, but they should have had Mario Party condoms. And then just said on the package, we've poked a hole in 3 out of the 4 of every condom we produce. It's just like a Mario Party game of chance. They should have done that. And then Mario Party fans across the world would have as many children as Bowser.
This has been a File 2 production.
Que rico.
It was Mario Party 7 that had the shot glasses.